Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and today we're going to do just a little bit more plastic stuff. I got a note from one of my viewers, and he sent me a drawing of what he wants. It's basically a plastic 2x2, only a little fat on one side, and I thought about it a little bit. I thought, well, that should be really easy to make. Should make for a nice short video, so you guys won't have to get tired of looking at me. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a mold for it and melt some plastic and see if we can't turn out this little project here. I guess we might as well just get on with it. Yep, we knew it. All the videos seem to start right here. So once I get that cut off, we'll start to hollowing it out. I've got a router around here somewhere. By the time I got it out and set it up would be a long time doing, so we're just going to cut it with this end mill, 2 inches by 4 inches. You know, well, 2.5 inches wide, 4 inches long, and 2 inches deep. So let's take a nap till I get closer to finished. Once again, I put my brain into gear after the project got started. There's no use me milling out, you know, pass after pass through there. I can just drill holes around the corner of that end mill and knock the middle out with a chisel, and then smooth everything up. Alright, now I can knock out a layer with my chisel here. This is a much abused chisel. It's been used for all manner of things that it shouldn't have been. Well, I bet it'll still work. I guess I could have knocked it out with a screwdriver also, but I didn't. So it's going to go on like that for a while, and I'll wake you guys up when we get there. Well, that looks like about the size we want. I didn't know those holes would go that far, but I got a couple of holes to plug in there, and then we'll start trying to fill a little booger with plastic. That should be 2.5 wide, 2 deep, 4 long. I don't know if I was thinking about maybe leaving a 1/16 or an 1/8 for shrinkage, but maybe it won't be that much. We'll see when we get through doing it. I don't know if my little melter can do enough plastic at one time to fill this up. That's another thing we're going to have to find out. Once the plastic starts melting, I'll have to just feed that thing till it's full up. I guess the only way I know to go about it. And then put a piece of plywood over it and clamp it down to try to make it fill out really good and smooth all around in there. At least that's what I've seen other people do, so that's the strategy here. But we're only at 112 degrees, so we got a ways to go. I'm stuffing the plastic in as fast as I can and pumping it down there, but I don't know how hot the stuff is in the mold, if it's going to be enough to really do any good. Harder to find small pieces that'll fit in there real quick. And my air pressure is dropping because I got both this melter and the air compressor on the same breaker, so I can't run them both at the same time. I'll probably have to stop, turn on the air compressor for just a little bit. As you can see, it's going in there, but and it's still pliable, but how it's going to come out, it's anybody's guess. Take a nap. This is where this try comes to an end. When I tried to squeeze it in, my mold split right down the side there. Well, the mold broke. You can see here on the side how it's going to pop open for me, I guess. There. It just wasn't strong enough to stand squeezing this, but it could have worked. You can see how it come close to getting flat on the bottom and just needed a little more squishing down. So I'll get another material for the mold and I'll saw this up into little pieces that'll go into the melter real easy, and I'm almost there. That's almost exactly enough, you know, plastic to do the job, so at least I know how much I need. Somehow I failed to go out and pick the okra yesterday, so that's what I got today. This is, you know, I'm not sure how good these are. The wife says some of the big ones have been just fine, so ordinarily you want to get the stuff at about that size, you know. But it's amazing how fast this stuff grows. So we're going to go out in the garden and we're going to mark an okra pod, and then we'll come back tomorrow and check it. Alright, so I picked this little pod as the one we're going to mess with, and I put that plastic ring around it so we'll know it for sure tomorrow. And right now, from the bottom to the very tip is about 2.5 inches. I hope I'm holding the camera right. I can't hardly see anything in this viewfinder because it's so dark out here. Well, I mean, so dark, so bright out here. Anyway, we'll come back tomorrow and we'll see how big that guy is. Well, today's 22 Fun Sunday, and I'm kind of down because my shooting sucks, you know. Look, we go back 22 Fun Sundays before this one. At the rifle part of it, I shot 5 times and I won 4 of those times. And then the one before this, I got 5 out of 5. Today, I got 3 out of 7. I didn't get anything at all out of the pistol part of it. It didn't hit nothing. Well, I mean, you know, I could hit something, but I didn't win. So, what most people do when they discover that their shooting sucks, other than practice, they start looking for gadgets to make things better, you know. So, I'm going to interrupt the plastic mold making here for a minute. And these little things are recoil notches. Your recoil lug goes down in there, and I want to put a red dot sight on here. And if I put it back here, the little recoil lug goes in here and pushes down on this sight, and then I can't turn the little adjuster. So what I want is a brand new slot right here, so I can move that red dot about 1 inch further forward, which is probably not the best place for it, but I'm sure we'll find out if it works all right or not. Anyway, I'm going to cut a slot in here and put a red dot on there just to see what will happen. I got plenty of 22 pistols if I take this to a shooting match and I'm not doing any good, I can just swap to one that doesn't have a red dot. So I'm going to take this over on the mill and we're going to slot this little booger. Hopefully. I had hoped I could put it in the vise without taking it apart, but that wasn't meant to be. So we got her apart. I'll try and put it in the vise in a non-harmful way. Alright, so I've got a little stop there for it, and I'll have to admit I did allow myself the luxury of a couple of minor swear words while the camera was off, but you know how that goes. Alright, so now I've got to move everything over because I'm going to roll that barrel over and the slot's going to be on the other side. So I guess, well, I'll just leave it on. It's going to get a lot harder for me to see what I'm doing. Well, you guys are in the way. You got to go for a minute. That looks like we can all see in the mirror, so there goes nothing. Close enough yet. Up on it a little bit more. Now what? It's not going down. The little knob on the side had gotten a little loose and the clutch was slipping. So now I'm going to probe around on it and see if it's level and flat and all that. And I'm going to be in the way of the camera, so I'm just going to shut it off. You'll have to forgive that. Alright, you guys didn't miss anything. I just probed around, and I've got a tiny little burr there, which I can knock out with a little file or something. I really made an ugly mess of that rail, so you guys know as well as I do that in the end I'm ordering another rail and cut another groove in it, this time not stuck to the barrel. That was trying to save yourself work can often make a lot of extra work. So there you go. I'm going to put it together and play with it, and tomorrow will be Monday, and we can go buy some materials to make another plastic mold and get on with trying to make a 2x2 out of plastic. Or maybe it's a, well, it's a 2x4, I guess. But anyway, tomorrow. Stayed at the range a long time, so I don't know if the light's good here enough to see this or not. Yesterday it was 2.5 inches, and tonight it's about 3 3/4. So it's big enough to pick right now. Alright, so this is the third day that we have watched this okra pod, and today, I hope I got it where you can see what I can see. Today the okra pod is 5 inches, and since we're watching it, I guess I'll just I'll let that little booger go to seed, and then we'll see how big it is, how many seeds it's got. Probably take it a week or so though. Anyway, there you are. In 3 days it's grown from 2.5 inches to 5. Alright, I'm interrupting a lot of things on the project here. I've got the material to make the mold, got some steel tubing, and I'm going to do probably too much elaborate work with that. But as you can see, that piece of plywood, that's wet on the edge, and the reason it's wet on the edge is it was stacked up against that wall there, and the darn air conditioner little overflow hole plugged up again like it it's done that every year, ran down inside the wall and then ran along the floor there, contaminating everything in sight. So I'm going to go and cut the bad pieces off all the plywood that's leaned up there, because the boss lady said she wants it done today, and she told me that 3 days ago, so you know its urgency is increasing. So I guess probably, yeah, we'll probably stop this video right here. This will be part 1, and I've hired a special joke teller actually, and so I figured he could do a better job of telling jokes than me, so he's going to deliver the Bubba joke today, and y'all be kind and throw him a bone, okay? Bubba and Cooter went down to the Ford dealer, and they were looking at this shiny new Mustang, and they couldn't make their mind up for sure about it. So the dealer says, well, why don't you boys just drive that car on home and come back in the morning, and if you really like it, he said, I'll make you a good deal on it. So they drive home, and they're so excited they lock the keys in the car. And Bubba says, well, Cooter, he says, I thought you had the keys. And Cooter says, no, Bubba, he says, you was driving. Bubba says, well, I don't know what we're going to do. And Cooter says, well, he says, you better figure out something pretty quick. He said, it looks like it's going to rain, and you left the top down. Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.